Well, my name is Tony Quinn. Um, I'm been married for 25 years. I have two wonderful children. So right away, when I read the part of Andrew, I thought, here's a guy who had a wonderful woman as his wife, and she's passed away, which is always, for me, a very interesting subject when you're dealing with people that have had spouses that have had to move on. Because I've always wondered about myself, what would I do? I always tell my wife, I said, man, if you weren't here, I'd be bumping into the walls. So here's this man who has a daughter who's 10 years old, and she's having a difficult time adjusting to life without mother. And he wants to move on with his life because, he's by no means an old man. So he finds this woman, Kathleen, and he really feels like she's somebody special, and I want to maybe develop a relationship with this woman. And my daughter's having a difficult time accepting that because she doesn't want to go on without mom, and she thinks that if we do, maybe we'll forget mom, and that mom will somehow diminish in our memories. And so she kind of rebels against that, and yet I'm sensitive to my daughter because I love my daughter. I relate to the fact that every time I look at my daughter, as Tony, I see my wife. So I can only imagine, as Andrew, he looks at this young woman who's growing up and sees his wife that has gone on, so he wants to make sure that she's being taken care of, her needs are met, and yet she doesn't run the show. So it's a very difficult balance. I really like that concept in that story. One of the things that I love about the story is the concept of possibly an estranged family, a broken family, and how those people are thrown back together in circumstances, and now they're sort of kind of dealing with each other. How that plays out, what it brings out in the people that are put into those circumstances. So I really love the concepts of the family dynamic and how important family is, and how we need each other as a family. So I like that as well. Tracy's great. He and I had a couple of conversations on the phone before I came out here, and he's very soft-spoken on the phone. And he's just got a real passion for filmmaking. He's got an independent filmmaker's heart, which I love. It's like, let's just grab a camera, let's write a great story, put a good crew together, and we can make a movie. And he's what I like to call a director's actor. He's constantly putting a thought in your head, or communicating to you where your character is at this moment, and this is what you're thinking. And he's very collaborative, and he has a lot of fun, which for me creates a very fertile environment to create whatever you're doing as an actor. So he's just a real joy to be around and to work with and to work for. They're terrific. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but everybody's great. Kathy's wonderful. It's a pleasure to finally get a chance to meet her and work with her. She's very easygoing. She's very collaborative. She'll give you whatever you need, and as well, it makes you want to give her whatever she needs. Cammie is just a ball of energy. She's just as cute as can be. She's extremely professional, very talented, and she's just got this beautiful face. She looks wonderful on camera. So I just count myself blessed to be a part of this whole thing and to work with these people. My funny story just happened today, actually. Kathy's character, she's in her restaurant, and she's got to deal a little bit with me and my daughter in this particular moment. And it's a little bit frustrating, a little bit trying to her patience, and she storms into the kitchen, and she, in frustration, grabs a piece of cake. And as she was ramping up the scene, doing take after take, she was just getting frustrated, and she was doing great, and she grabbed this piece of cake, and they wanted her to get a little bit of cake crumbs on the sides of her mouth, because I need to wipe it off of her face. And she grabbed this piece of cake, and she was just ramming pieces of cake into her mouth, and she was trying to talk, and she just got it everywhere. Her teeth were all blackened out with this chocolate cake, and then she couldn't carry it anymore, and she just lost it, and she started cracking up, and we were all out watching on the monitor, and we were dying laughing. It was hysterical. That was a great story.